Hi, my name is Yuqing Kang, and in this video, I will compare my response to the panel's response regarding the case of Sylvia. And I will focus on three key areas: comparison, reflection on learning, and impact on my practice. So, in the first part, I will look at the similarities and differences between my response and the panel's response to Sylvia's issues. So, for similarities, I think we both identify the same key issues in Sylvia's life, like her childhood trauma, fear of abandonment, struggles in relationships, and emotional distress. And we both recognize that her past experience have shaped her current struggles, including sexual abuse, rejection from her mother, and early homelessness. And then for the differences, I think our approaches were a bit different. Like, I broke Sylvia's issues into four categories: biological, psychological, social, and spiritual. But the panel's response took a narrative approach. She discussed Sylvia's issues in a chronological and relational manner, emphasizing how her early life challenges have shaped her attachment patterns and emotional responses. And then turn to the second part. Firstly, I will also look at the similarities and differences between my response and the panel's response. So, for the critical ecological system theory, I think we both focused on how Sylvia's problems are shaped by multiple environmental systems. But the panel placed more emphasis on life course development, looking at how Sylvia's current struggles connect to different stages of her life. And the panel also mentioned Sylvia's internalized beliefs, such as her fear of losing her family due to her childhood trauma and her responsibilities for her family, especially for her daughter. Well, my response focused more on a macro and structural challenges like the financial issues and others, and other system issues. Yeah. And then for attachment theory, I think we both recognized Sylvia's anxious attachment style, especially her fear of losing relationships, both with her family, with her daughter and her husband. However, the panel focused more on Sylvia's emotional regulation strategies, like how she tries to hide her anxiety from Emily to avoid affecting her daughter's independence. And the panel also analyzed Rick's avoidant attachment style, which I didn't explore in depth. And lastly, the panel highlighted that the social worker could act as as a secure attachment figure for Sylvia. These are I didn't consider in my response. Yeah. And then I believe the reasons for the differences um, is because I lack sufficient practical experience and professional knowledge. And from the comparison, I realized that Rick's behavior is also influenced by attachment patterns, not just Sylvia's. And I see the importance of considering life course development when analyzing a case. And then turn to the third part. I think I will use more holistic assessments, making sure to consider both external system factors and internal emotional responses when assessing clients. And instead of only focusing on present struggles, I will explore how a person's past experience influenced their current situation. And also, I will be mindful of how social workers can provide a sense of security for the clients and help them develop more positive attachment patterns. So, what would I challenge a change in my paper? I think I would add more about Rick's avoidant attachment style and how his emotion affects Sylvia, And also I will discuss mentalization and how Sylvia is trying to regulate her emotion herself. And lastly, I would explore how the social worker and client relationship can serve as a emotional support for the client. So that's all the comparison between my response and the panel's response. Thank you for your watching.